speaker was joining from India. She couldn't join,
Mhm.
so we have rescheduled it on Monday, 8 a.m. PST.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Let me see. Am I missing a page? Got my systems page. Okay. Oh, Claude. I gotta sign into Claude. I always have Claude open. Oh, it's in. Okay.
So I see a
My
lot of
bad.
folks from Beta joining. Welcome, welcome everyone. So the session is being recorded.
I have a question.
Yes, Gurpreet?
Yeah, hi. Hi, Ezeoma. I'm Gurpreet.
Hi.
Do we need to have anything like logged in? I heard you talking about Claude. So if I want to follow along, should I be ready with something?
I don't think if you really wanted to follow along, if I wanted to show you like the exact steps to follow, don't worry about
Okay.
that. You know,
Okay.
we're probably going to spend like 3 hours here or 2 hours. But I'm going to do a quick run through. The build is pretty simple. There's documentation, and of course, after the talk, I can always provide those links that would help you guys on. I always have Claude
Okay.
open because sometimes I have to debug, and it's just the best tool so far. No, when it comes to the debugging. So you don't
Got
need to
it.
have anything
Okay.
open. Just chill.
Thank you so much. All right.
No
Thank you.
problem.
We'll wait for a couple more minutes and we can start.
Was that?
We'll wait for a couple more minutes and you can start by 4:05. It's
Okay.
like 4:02
That's
now.
all
Yeah.
right. It's okay. Ooh, people from everywhere. Nice. Chicago.
All right, I think we can start the session.
Okay.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to May Build series as part of AI Enthusiastic Learning Program powered by Microsoft Teams. I think Shivi is also in the call. Okay, so today we have an interesting, this month we have an interesting lineup of workshops scheduled for having a hands-on learning experience. So today we will be doing build your own Gmail assistant with Ezeoma. So we are excited to have a hands-on experience, and then we'll try to see what we can build from this.
Okay, I'm
Over to you.
excited. Over to me? Okay, sure. Well, hi everybody. First of all, thank you all for taking out time from your days to be here. It's always fun to share this kind of knowledge. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen just to do a brief introduction and then we can go from there. Uh-oh. Share window. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
We can.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And I might just have to turn on my camera for bandwidth purposes. Give me a second. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Ezeoma Nwaneri. I am from Nigeria, but I currently live in Chicago, Illinois, the U.S. I am a product designer professionally, UX design, as well as visual design, and I have a background in mechanical engineering. Currently, I work with startups and interesting projects, mostly in the music industry, and I'm also an educator. I teach technology to K through 8 students. Well, without much ado, today, what we're going to be doing is diving into a new tool that I, just like most of you, I'm sure, have just been fascinated by, which is N8N, the big umbrella AI automation. It's something that I have been playing with recently, learning recently. In fact, it just clicked. It just clicked about 2 months ago. That's when I really started to understand it. So you get in the perspective of someone who's a learner as well. I'm not perfect. It's going to be scrappy. We might encounter bugs, which there's a lot of it in N8N, but hopefully we can find a way through and get this Gmail agent working. Yeah, that's a bit about myself. And just to get a sense of the audience we have here, just drop in the chat where you're from. I see already some people shouting out California, Seattle, Chicago. Okay, Seattle, people, both awesome. A lot of people from the US, maybe because we're the only once a week. Pretty cool. All right, welcome, welcome, everyone. All right, a bit about N8N. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it, but if you're not, I wrote down the definition here so I don't forget it. N8N is an open source workflow automation tool that lets you connect apps and services to automate tasks without writing much code. It's basically a low code tool where you can just connect nodes and make it do things you want. I like to go in with a rapid validation mindset and just test things quickly. That's how my workflow seems to go. But anyway, today we're going to be looking at building out the Gmail agents that can assist you with tasks on in your Gmail, maybe make life easier for you. I'll try to make this as simple as possible. There's so many ways you can go about this project, but I'll I'll go through a hopefully simple way, and please feel free to interrupt me at any time if you don't understand what I'm saying. But yeah, this is N8N, the platform. Like I said, it's a low code tool. You don't really need to know code. I say you don't really need to know code. There's a little bit of code there, but you shouldn't be intimidated by it. Like I said, I'm a UX designer. I mean, that exposed me to code a bit, but I have a mechanical engineering background, no code whatsoever. So there's a little bit of JavaScript. It's not that hard. Believe me, I just learned this. It's not that hard. Anyway, you can create an account. It's free. And there are two ways to go about this. I personally use N8N locally. That just means I'm hosting it on my own computer. My own computer is my own server. And if you use it that way, it's free. But if you choose to use the cloud version, I think it's about $12 a month. Not bad. But yeah, you can feel free to sign up over here. The sign up process is pretty straightforward. And when you sign up, you will be brought to this dashboard where you can see your workflow, some of your credentials up here, some project settings and executions. Credentials are just like your login information for, this is sensitive, so I'm not gonna go into it. There are a few pages I'm not gonna go into just because they're pretty sensitive information. But yeah, the whole gist of N8N is you take an input, you bring it in, processes it, and gives you an output. All right, without much ado, let's get to the agent. So I'm going to start by creating up here a new workflow. Okay, it brings us to this canvas, and like you can see, it's a very simple interface, and there's this plus button here. Before you start any build, it's super important to understand where you want to go. It's just super important to understand what you want to do. And so for this task, for this Gmail agent we're about to build, actually, I'll explain what an agent is later, but for this Gmail agent we're about to build, there are a few things I wanted to do. I wanted to understand me when I talk to it. I wanted to remember what I tell it. And most importantly, I wanted to fetch my unread emails. I wanted to be able to create a draft from it, and I want to be able to send those drafts if I like it. All right, so we're going to automate that whole process. It's not fully automated because we're still typing, but just again, there's so many ways you can go about it. Let's jump into it. The first thing we want to do is to add our trigger node. If you click this plus button, this stuff comes up on the right where you see different types of triggers. We have the trigger manually. You just click it, it's like clicking a button to run the workflow or the agent. I like to use this when I'm just testing or building out workflows quickly. We have on app events, we have on schedule you can schedule a workflow to run or an agent to run every minute, every hour, every 1 month, whatever you like. And then there's a webhook call. A webhook is just, I mean, imagine a button on a website. When you press it, that's basically it. And to the experts here, forgive me if I'm butchering that, but that's the main idea. You have some permission, but for this, I'm just gonna go to on chat. Okay, let's go back to all right. So what this trigger does is, let's open it. Is I'm able to send a message. If I open chat here, I'm able to talk to my system. I'm able to say hi and send this. All right, a green tick on N8N. Oh, it's so good. It means it's working. You don't want to see a red ticket. That's bad. But yeah, we know that this node is working now. The next thing I want to connect it to is our agent. Again, I click that, let me take it back. I click this plus button. This comes up on the side. Or I can, I can just come up here to the right and click this and search for agent. Okay, that's it here. We'll just go back to this. Click on advanced agents. Now in here, you have different types of agents. There's an AI agent. There's a basic LLM chain. There's a sentiment analysis if you want to understand sentiment. You can connect all of this to your chat node. I'm going to go with the first one, the AI agent. Okay. And now we see it's connected. Now here is me talking, and this is what I'm talking to. This is the AI agent. Imagine an AI agent like just a zombie, like a dead body. It has nothing. It's just existing. It doesn't talk. It doesn't look. It can't think at the moment. So we need to give it some capabilities. And one is a chat model or the brain so that it can start to reason. And to give it a chat model, you can just click on this, and N8N has a lot of chat models. It has Anthropic, you have Google Gemini. If you don't want to pay, because this makes a lot of API calls, and it's usually cheap. But if you don't want to pay, you can use Grok, the Grok chat model. It just gives you access to a lot of free LLMs. But I'm going to use the OpenAI chat model for this presentation. Okay. As we can see, I have connected that brain. So our agent or our dead robot now has sort of like a brain where it can reason. And if I go back in here and say, hi, oh, before I even do that, let me show you how to set up the credentials. When you first come to this screen, okay, you would have to click this drop down and click on add new credentials. I already have one here, but if this were you, if you were new here, you would click on this, and there's a link up here, open docs. This just takes you to the documentation, and it's pretty straightforward to follow. All you have to do is click on this link or sign up for OpenAI. You can use your ChatGPT account for this. Sign up for it, and it's going to bring you to this page, the API key page. You just click this top button on the right, and you can create a new API key. Let's say my test key is, I don't know, let's say N8N workshop. Okay, that'll be the name, default project, leave it there, and then we hit create key. I won't do that right now because, yeah, you want to keep this very safe. Anyway, it's cheap to run. I've built a few workflows, and I don't think I've spent up to $5. And I built a few work. I don't think I've spent up to $5. I don't think I spent up to $2. So it's a pretty good option. Anyway, you copy the new API key you create. You come back to N8N. There's the space for API key. You paste it in here. You can leave organization blank and leave this blank and just hit on save. Once you hit on save, it should pop up like a green dialog box, you're connected. And then you can come into the model list and choose whatever model you want. They go all the way back. You can, if it's a really simple task you want to do, you can get away with the GPT 3.5 Turbo, but I'll stick to the 4.0 Mini for this presentation. Okay. Now this is, again, like I said, we've connected this was dead before. We've given it some life, we've given it awareness, and we can now say hi. And we see it hits all the nodes. It's like, hello, how can I assist you today? Pretty good. But that's all it can do. It can't really do much. Like, it cannot remember. If I say, for example, my name is Eze, I can send this, okay? It's like, hi, nice to meet you, Eze. How can I assist you today? Then I ask it. This trips me out every time. What is your name? Oh, no. What is your name? What is my name? Okay, I send this to it. It reasons a bit. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't have access to personal info, blah, blah, blah. It does not know my name, but I just told it my name. And that's because it does not have memory. So we want to come in here to the memory plug, hit this plus button, and it's going to show us a bunch of memories. Now, for more advanced users, we'll be talking about like vector databases. But for this, we are just going to use simple memory. Okay, I click on that. This is the configuration, the parameters for simple memory. It's connected to the chat trigger node. This means that it's just looking for this JSON session ID. You look on the left. Don't be intimidated by this at all. This is just input. This is our agent in the middle, and this is the output. Okay. Currently, we've sent it the message. Like, you look at the chat input. It's like, what is my name? This is just the input, and this is the session ID. Okay. So this is what it uses to remember the session, and then the context window, we can leave that at 5. Maybe bump it up to 10. This just shows how many past interaction the simple memory can store. You can take it up as much as you want, okay? But yeah, now I have memory. I can go ahead and say, my name is Eze. Send. It hits the agent. Nice to meet you, Eze. How can I assist you today? What is my name? Okay. Your name is Eze. How can I help you further? Good. We've seen the agent now remembers. And it's important to always test like this as you add new nodes, new connectors to your agent or your workflow. All right. Moving on, our agent is somewhat alive. Now is what do we want this to do? We want this to be a Gmail agent, okay? We want this to go into our Gmail. It understands us now. It's done the first part. It remembers. It's done the second part. Now I want it to be able to retrieve unread emails from my Gmail. Now, what's cool about agents is that you can give them tools and they figure out what to do with it. So like I can give you as a human being a car. A car is a tool. You know what to do with it. If I say, go get me, I don't know, something from Walmart, you know exactly where to go. So that's almost the same thing with an agent. I can come in here and the tool I want to give it first is the Gmail tool. It consumes the whole Gmail API, all right? Now we see we've connected our first tool, and this is Gmail. You can see it has the red stuff on it, just meaning we have to go in and set the parameters. Again, like with the OpenAI, you have to connect to your Gmail, and I like to do the OAuth authentication for the APIs because it's what they recommend. So you can come in here and all you have to do is click sign in with Google. I'm not going to click this because it's going to expose some of my emails. But that's all you have to do. Sign in and just give it permission to go through your Gmail. A point to mention, if you're hosting N8N locally, like if you're hosting it on your own machine, you would have an extra step to go to do in this process. So you would have to create a Google Cloud account and get some credentials from that. But we're not doing that today. We're in the cloud version. All right. So I already have my Gmail credentials here. The two descriptions set automatically. Just leave it like that. Resource. Now resources, remember, I want this to fetch unread emails. All right. So the resource is not going to be my draft. It's not going to be my thread. It's going to be my messages. So it's going to go into my messages, and we're going to define this further as we keep going. The operation is not send, it's get. Actually, it's get many. You know, get, which is bring back one result, but get many can bring back all my unread emails. All right. So I'm going to hit that get many. I'm going to leave return all turned off. What if I leave return all? If I leave this turned on and you have like, I know a few of you might have, like maybe not a few of you, me personally, I have like thousands of unread emails. It's going to get all of that and it's just going to keep loading forever. You don't want that. So you want to turn return all off, and then you want to set a limit. So the limit here by default is 50, but I want that to be lower. I just want to make it 3. So just bring back my recent 3 unread emails. Okay. And we're going to leave simplify on. Let's see, under filters. Okay, so to define this further, you know, we want to come to filters and choose label names or IDs. Okay, hit that. And I want to specify that it is my inbox. Okay, it comes into inbox and unread. Okay, so it's going to go into my inbox and find the unread messages. All right, I can hit the start. This is going to let the AI agent decide what it is, but we don't want to do that, not now at least, because it's just going to cause you trouble in the future. All right, so we've set up this parameter, but there's one very important thing we like to do. You have to do is to rename this tool. So this is a Gmail, and I just like to rename it the operation so that the agent understands get many. So when the agencies get many, like, okay, this is where I'm going to go to retrieve the unread emails. All right. Remember, we're not controlling it, it's controlling itself. Now, here's where we want to start to define our agent a bit. And this is where prompt engineering comes into play. All right. I go back into my AI agent. I go to options and I hit system message. Now, system message is just your prompt for the AI, like telling it what it is, what it's capable of doing. And at the moment, it just says you are a helpful assistant. I want to make that you're a helpful Gmail assistant. You help. This is just plain English, okay? You help me organize and manage my inbox. Boom. All right. So that's the system message. Prompt engineering can be the most tedious thing to do. So it's never finished. You keep iterating. It's a very iterative process. You keep going back and forth, but we're going to start simple for now. It's very important to start simple and clean. Okay. All right, now we've connected it, we've renamed it to get many, so it knows that, okay, this is where it's going to go to fetch my unread emails. Now we want to test that out, all right? Let me see, make sure everything is in order, require specific. We don't need a specific output format for this. We can just leave it as it is. And I'm going to come here and say, get me my unread messages, or I can say, do I have any new messages? Stuff like that. Let's how do you spell messages? Okay, yeah, get me my unread messages, and I hit this. Boom. Let's see. All right, it hits the agent, and we can see it hits the get many because it knows to hit this to retrieve emails, and then this is the output. It's like, so I prepared this email beforehand so we can use it for this example. It's in here. If you see my inbox, there's an email. It just has this one email in here. Let's go back. All right. So it shows me, yeah, from Ezeoma Nwaneri. There's my main email. Subject, meeting confirmation for tomorrow. And the snippets, which is the message, is like, hello, N8N. That's what I'm posing as. I would like to confirm you'd be able to attend the meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Ezeoma. Then the agent tells me that's it. If you'd like to take any other actions on this message or need further assistance, let me know. Of course, I would love to take an action. The next action I want to take is to draft a response to this email. It could have brought back like 5 emails. Okay, if I set the limit to 5 and it still understands what I wanted to do, I could just go in and say, hey, draft a response to Ezeoma email. Ezeoma's email. Okay. All right. Now we needed to draft the response. If I hit this, it's gonna fail because we don't have a tool for that specific use case. Now, side talk. N8N has made this, what I'm teaching today, a lot more easier with something called MCPs, model context protocols. They say it's like the USB of of AI automation. So instead of having so many nodes to get to send to draft to do this to do that, I can have like 5 nodes out here or 7 nodes out here. Instead of having that, I could just have 2 MCP nodes. One will have a list, and another will have execution. Will be it for execution. So the list just has all the tools I need to get the many. The reason I can't do it here is because it's only available. At least the MCP node I'm using as a community node is only available when you self-host. So for now, and if you're learning, this is still the best way to learn. Just do it manually. All right. Anyway, moving on. I want to draft a response. I'm going to add a new tool, Gmail. Boom. Right. All right. So everything is set. I'm going to come in to resources and change it from message to draft. Okay, because this is what I want to do now. I want to get to my draft resource and draft. And of course, I'll leave the operation as create the subject. I'm going to hit this button over here. Now, what this does is it tells the agent to craft a subject based on the email we're responding to. And you can have a little more control over it and just add a description like craft a suitable subject for the email to be no, for the email we want to reply to. Okay, you can do that just to make sure it does what it says it will do. For the email type, you can leave this as text, but I like to put it HTML. Then the message, again, you can hit that, and you can define what you want, like, make craft relevant, craft uh, a relevant response to the email. Okay. All right. All right. So we have all of that. It looks good. Now let's test it out. Oh, we forgot to do one thing. So we have get many. We forgot to rename. So let's rename this. Okay. Gmail. Let's call this draft. Draft. Save. All right. So it knows that this is the draft tool. All right. Now I can say, hey, draft a response to Ezeoma's email. Let's see what happens. All right. Goes in here. It's the chat model. It's the draft. Boom. It's like there. This is the feedback. Hi, I have drafted a response to Ezeoma's email confirming your attendance at the meeting. Now, this is just going to do whatever. You can always go in and edit the draft or tell it what you want to say specifically. And then if you like to send it, or make it, would you like to send it or make any change? Let me know. Now I'm gonna go into my inbox, okay, and go to my drafts. Now I've tested it, so you might see a bunch of drafts. Don't worry about that. The time is 6:32. This is the latest one at 6:31. Let's open it. So it says here, hi. All right, meeting confirmation. Hi, Ezeoma. Thank you for confirming the email. I'll be there at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Looking forward to our discussion. Best regards, Eze. Awesome. But it's missing something. It's missing a recipient. Okay. Now, that's because we did not add that to our draft node. Okay. Let's go into the draft tool again. Go to options down here. We have a few options. We have attachments, we have CC, BCC, sent reply, thread ID, and to email. This is the email. This is the email from the sender. Okay, that's from me. Again, I don't need to define this. I can just hit this button and let the AI do the heavy lifting and figure out what email I'm talking about. All right. Now I can go back in here, go back to this command, hey, draft a response. I just hit this button here, it brings it in here again, and I can fire it. So it goes again, creates the draft, blah, blah, blah. Okay, boom, green node executed successfully. Let's go back into our drafts. What time is it now? 6:33. This is still 6:31. Let me refresh this. Pew. See what we have. I hope it came in. Okay, 6:33. I click on this and boom, you now see this on the right. This is a new draft, and now it has a recipient. It has me there, Nwaneri. Okay, so that's how we fix that. It's all about back and forth. Okay, back and forth. You would, until you get a good grasp of it. Even me, I'm still learning. You would have to do a lot of back and forth. Okay, awesome. So we've been able to add a brain. Okay, first of all, add a chat. Now this input, it could be anything. Like I said, you can connect this to Telegram, you can connect this to WhatsApp, wherever. You can connect this to a website input, and we can do a lot before we even process that data. We can change this to like an audio. For example, if I have a Telegram node here, I can send an audio file. For that, I want to connect like an open AI node that would transcribe the audio file to text before it feeds it to the AI agent so it understands what I'm saying. But here it could be anything. We've connected the brain, the chat model, okay? We've connected the memory, so it remembers what we're talking about. Then we've connected two tools. We have two tools, the get email, get many, so it fetches a lot of emails, and we have the draft email, so that it knows what to draft, so that it can draft an email. All right. Now, after drafting, I'm satisfied with the draft. but I'm too lazy to hit the send button myself. So why not create a send note? Okay, so I want to go back again to tools, get Gmail tool again. And first of all, so I don't forget, I'm going to rename this to Gmail send. Boom. I have my Gmail account connected. Awesome. My tool description, leave that automatic. My resources. Now, we're not going to go to draft again. This is a mistake I was making a lot. I thought because we're going to send something from the draft, we have to come back to draft. We're going to message. We're trying to message, okay? And the operation is send. All right. Two, this is the email we're sending it to. We can just click this button. The AI knows automatically it's that email that is the inbox we received, the ones we've been talking about in a recent chat history. That's why it's important to have memory. Okay. Again, you can add for the description if you want to really nail in that prompt. The subject, again, let it define that. We already have a draft, so it knows to go and fetch that. So that's what that is. Then the message, again, we already have a message. It knows to go and fetch that. Let me see. Are we missing any other thing? We have options. Let's see. What do we want to add here? Yeah, many append. Oh, I like to add this append and it's an attribution. We're gonna leave this on. And the reason I leave this on because I don't know if it sends, it's gonna have at the bottom of the sent mail like this was created on any end. So you want to leave this on so that it does not show that. All right. Reply to sender only. You can add that. Send replies to the sender's name, blah, blah, blah. You can add other things. Okay. But I'm just going to leave it like this for now and go back to my canvas. All right. So I'm happy with the draft it created. This one on the right, blah, blah, blah. 30 minutes later, 30 minutes late. Looking forward to discussion. Best anytime. And I want to say, I love the draft. I love the draft. Send it. Okay. And I hit this and boom, it sends. And we can see it knows to hit the send mail because we've defined it. Okay. And it comes back. The response to Ezeoma's email has been successfully sent. If you need any more assistance or have another task, feel free to ask. Now let's just make sure that was sent. I'm going to go in to my sent. All right, what time is it? It's 3:37. That's the latest email. Let's open it and see and put this down. Oh, I think I was wrong with this. So this was what I was talking about. This email was sent automatically with anything. I guess I have to turn that off. Hi, Ezeoma. Thank you for confirming the email. I'll be there tomorrow at 3 p.m. Best regards. Easy. Wait a minute. Something is not right. Email confirmation for tomorrow. Okay, so we might want to define a few things, all right? Because that's not the email that was created. The email I drafted, I think it said I would be, oh, okay. No. It didn't say I would be late. Let me see. Inbox, drafts. Let's open this. Thank you for your email. I'll be happy to attend the email tomorrow at 3 p.m. Okay, so this is it. So yeah, everything is okay. So send. All right. So just send it. I'll be there by 3 p.m. tomorrow. I guess it just changed the grammar a bit. But you can specify this to the AI saying, hey, I don't like that you changed you changed the words in the email you sent. Don't do that again. And we can come in to the agent and to the system message. And let me blow this up. I like to leave this as an expression so it allows me add code here. It's more flexible, but I can go into the system message and say because of what it just did. So say hashtag send in messages or send in emails. Then I want to say always send. No. Let me define this more. Send in draft emails. Okay. Always send draft emails as they are. don't change, don't ever. Sometimes you have to shout on these models. Don't ever change the text. Okay? Keep it the same as the draft. It's just like talking to someone. Whatever you have to do to make them understand, boom, say it. So, okay, that's our new instruction. Let's see if it works this time. Actually, no need to test that. I don't think we have enough time. Let me see what time is it, 6:40. Yeah, because I really want us to just get into discussion after this. Anyway, there it is. That's our agent. Now we can add other capabilities to this agent. And one is, let me say, is a contact list. Okay. So we can go back into tools. Now I've prepared a contact list using Google Sheets. So that's just what I'm going to get. So Google Sheet tools. Okay. Uh-oh, did I get it? I got pushover. Not that. Let's do that again. Sheets. All right, this is what I want. It reads, updates, and writes to the Google Sheet. All right, so this is Google Sheets tools, and I have prepared this contact list. The name of this sheet is My Contact, and under it I have one of the sheets called Contacts, work in bracket, and I have these three test contacts. All right, Diego, Syria, and Lily. Oh, I'm sorry, Siri's listening to me. Okay, back to anything. All right. Google Sheets, it's just the same thing with Gmail. It's very simple. Just click on sign in, choose the email you want to use, and boom, you have it set up. Keep it in. Let's close that. I already have mine there. To description, leave it automatic. Resource within document, within document, sheet within document. So that's what I want. I want to get a row. I want to get the email of a contact I might mention. Okay. So I'm going to say from, let's define first, it's going to be, you see, it pulls in my contacts because it's connected to that sheet. So I put boom from list. This is a perfect example of where you don't want to use this, let AI define it for you. It could work, but imagine in a case where I had like multiple sheets down here, then it might get confused. So back here, so contact, and then the sheet I want is, yeah, contacts work. I'm gonna click that. All right, so it says filter. Currently, no filter exists. So I want to say this to the agent. I want it to be able to, when I say a name, for example, if I say send a message to Diego, I want it to be able to go into here and look through the rows. So it's going to be this or this or this. That we it's just going to be this row, okay? That we're going to look at. Any row that has Diego in it, and then it's going to search the rest to look for its email. Anyway, let me get back to this. All right, so first column I want to define is the first name. Okay, the value, I'm gonna let AI define that. Okay, add another filter. And the second column I have in there is last name. Let AI define that. And finally, the email. Okay, and we're gonna let the AI define that. And the combined filter, if I'm not mistaken, I think we can leave this at or, so it doesn't have to fulfill all the parameters at once. But I might be mistaken on that. But I'm gonna leave it on or because it works. Okay. So Google Sheets. Again, we have to change the name. So we'll say Google Sheets. Let me say underscore. No, not this contact list. Okay, rename. Now I'm going back to my agent and I say, let me go to Diego, copy his name, just his name, copy that, go to the agent, I say, send a message to Diego, tell him that I am still waiting for the payment of, I don't know, $1 million. Okay. I am still waiting for my payment of $1 million. Diego, pay me. So I'm gonna send this and let's see what the agent does with this. Okay, so it hits the memory first. Oh, okay. We have a failed node. Let's go in because again, I'm sending an email, but in here we can come to the output and we see invalid email address. That's the error we're getting. Now, when you start to build more robust systems, more robust workflows, the error might not be clear. You're just going to see a bunch of code and you might be lost. What I like to do in that case is just error details, hit this map here, copy it, and come into Claude. I have Claude running all the time because I'm in love with the 3.7 Sonnet. It just seems to work very good with code, and I want to paste it in here and be like, boom, this is my error code, and Claude is going to understand. You have to give it some context first, like, hey, I'm building a Gmail agent and this is the error I'm getting. Please debug it. And it usually gives you quickly tells you what's wrong with it and you can go in and fix it. Okay. But this is an easy debug, I think. Invalid email address. Okay, boom. So we've seen that it's not hitting the Google Sheet contact list. Why? Because it does not know to do that. Okay, it does not know. I haven't defined it in the system message. All I've defined is, yeah, you helpful Gmail assistant. Um, you send draft emails. So when I told it send a message to Diego, and this is how I think it's thinking, is that since there's no Diego in our current conversation, it went into our history to see, have we mentioned Diego before? Probably didn't see it there, and it still just tried to send the email, and that failed. So we got to tell it, come in here, come into this tool, the sheet, and, look for Diego. For this, I have a predefined system message for retrieval of emails from contact list. Let's copy this and just go in here and paste the prompt. Let's go in, expand this system message, come down a step, paste this. All right, so this is hashtag retrieving emails from contact list. So I'm defining this as when given a name to send an email to, make sure to check my contact list or emails of the person, for the email of the person. For example, if I say draft an email to John and say hi, check Google Sheets contact list to see if his name is there. If it is, get his email, last name, first name, and use it for the draft. That's why we define those filters. Note that the name might not be in the contact list and might be in a recent chat memory. So again, it might not be there, it might be in the chat memory, so it's gonna still check the chat memory. Okay. And you can define this even further, because imagine a case where you have two Diegos. Okay, it's like, okay, now I'm really lost. Which Diego do I choose? In that case, you can tell the system, hey, when I tell you send a message to Diego, my bad. When I say send a message to Diego, I am destroying my sheet. Okay, when I say send a message to Diego, I can tell the agent to say, hey, give me a feedback saying, look, you have two Diegos. Which of them do you want? Is it Morales or whatever the other Diego's last name is? Okay, so it's all about just defining this well. So now we've put this in here. Let's try our command again. Okay, so here, I just hit this, or I can just hit the round button beside it and it just runs it automatically. But I like to hit this one on the right so I can make changes if I want. So send a message to Diego, tell him that I am still waiting for the payment of $1 million. All right, let's hit this and see if it works. So it hits the agent. Now it hits our Google Sheets because we've defined it and it knows that it should send an email. Let's confirm it to send that email. I'm going to go to my sent. Let's refresh this. All right. Boom. Boom. It sends the message to Diego Morales saying, I am still waiting for the payment of $1 million. All right. Now you can fine tune this and make it a draft first before you send directly. you can really play with this. Imagine it like Legos. That's all it is. It's just building blocks. You can connect it how many ways you want to connect it. Like I could have, instead of having this chat, you can just hit this delete button to, by the way, to delete like a note. Instead of having like chat message, I can come in here and have, let's see, let's go to triggers. No, let's hit Gmail. Okay. Gmail, then in here I see a list of actions. I want to go all the way down to triggers. So it has Gmail has one trigger on message received. All right. So this can be my trigger. And I connect this to the agent. Now, the Gmail trigger is basically, you can set it to just every 1 minute, every 1 hour, see if I have an unread message and do a certain task. Okay, you can define that task. You can label it. You can send this through like a text classifier, text classifier. This is for, so again, this needs a model. We can just connect this to our OpenAI model so we save money. And what this does, it can now label your text, your emails for you. So imagine you're a business owner. You're getting emails from different customers, and you want to classify that. You want to say, okay, this is high priority. This is about billing. This is about shipment. You can classify that. Just have processes. It's so amazing. It's so amazing what this thing. It's so amazing to watch it operate. Honestly, it's what a wonderful time to be alive. Anyway, let's just go back, connect our chat model, and yeah, we have a working agent. Now you can take this agent and add it to a bigger workflow. Okay, you can add it to a bigger. The difference between an agent and a workflow is an agent, again, like I described, it's just a robot that does a predefined task, and a workflow is a series of steps or series of executions, and this could be one of that execution. There's so many ways you can build this, and it's an exciting tool to play with. I hope you guys mess around with it. That's all for me for now. Any questions?
Yeah, I see questions in the chat.
Oh, I can't even see the chat. Let me stop sharing for a bit. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, chat. Oh, I'm so sorry. The questions have been coming in. I was just focused on this, but yeah, let's see. Let's see. Connecticut. Okay, someone says is this building the prototype or the agent can actually work on your Gmail? Is this building? Yeah, so this can, so okay, that was an early question here. So that it can actually work on your Gmail. Is there a way to filter out unsubscribed? Yep. Again, you just define it. Imagine, that's why I said the most important thing you can do before you start building out your agent is to have a workflow. Like I just to use my UX design experience to create user flows, to create workflows, and make sure I'm hitting every note before I go in and start building. Okay, so that's just going to define what tools you need. Formatting the sent emails is not there. Formatting in the sent email, you can define that in the system message. You can say, hey, for every sent email, have it like this. Always start with a pleasant introduction, have 1 or 2 paragraphs, and always sign off a certain way. Sign off your name, your phone number, email. You can always set that in the system prompt. That's why I said it's an ongoing process. As you discover more things you need, just go tell the system, like, this is what I want you to do. And sometimes it, it, telling the system might not be enough. Sometimes you might actually have to go get other nodes to do those activities you want to do. Try selecting HTML. Okay, someone answered that. Instead of email address, that's taking a last name. Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm glad some people are helping Andrew. If we toggle. Yeah, so if you toggle off the N8N attribution, it does not show up in the sent email. I forgot to tell you. Within the new workflow, how do you define each step to make sure you don't bundle combine steps together or miss steps? When you wait, let me see if I understand it. It says when you start
Yeah, I can explain that one.
okay.
Yeah, so when you remember earlier, you were mentioning also, like, let's just say we have an automation workflow in mind. Today,
Mhm.
what's your process to break that down into step by step, such that you don't miss, let's say, a step, like you knew that you need to break it down into, like in your example, the email draft, sorry, the
Yeah.
trigger and get email drafts, and like you need to break like all of these into different notes.
Yes. Yes. It's always good to, and the reason I say make, okay, first of all, know how to do it manually. Know exactly what you do. So we're not just coming in and automating anything. It has to be a process that maybe it's a business process, and it's done in a consistent way. You know, you just have to understand that process and see, okay, this is a waste of time. This is a waste of time. Can we automate that? And if you can, go ahead and automate it. You already have the workflow. So just take that and, but if you were to create something new, if you wanted to create something new, again, it's the same process. I like to, if you really want to go deep, you want to understand like users, and again, just what your intent is. Define the first step, just draw a flow diagram, and that should give you a big picture. That might not end up being what your final product looks like, or your final workflow looks like. It's just a starting point, and it gives you a holistic view of what to do. I don't know if that answered the question.
Yes, have you tried to use AI maybe to guide you, like if you describe
Oh,
the workflow, and then it guide you and help you
100%.
draft like the system instructions as well?
100%, 100%. In fact, what I love about N8N is, like, for example, this workflow I just created, I can export it as a JSON, and you can just open your N8N, throw it in, and it builds it out automatically. But using AI, again, you still have to understand what you want to do, understand what you want the outcome to be, and define that to the AI. You can use ChatGPT or Claude. I love to use Claude and tell it, hey, I'm trying to build out a Gmail agent, and this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to respond to email. In fact, you don't really need to go that deep. You can just be like, advise me, tell me how to build this out. And it gives you steps. It can go as detailed as possible, or as detailed as you want.
Thank you.
No problem. Prompt engineering, the prompts clearly, and any steps. The prompts and the prompts clearly. I'm not sure I understand that question. But if you're asking about how you structure the prompts, it helps to structure it in the way the flow goes, but I think you can get away with mixing up the steps, putting one step ahead of another. As far as the agent understands what your intent is, then that shouldn't be a problem. Mm, How do you decide which parts of the work, oh, you're welcome, guys, of the workflow should be automated with AI versus handled manually? This is a good question. This is a very, very good question, because oof, you can waste time automating stuff that does not need to be automated. Again, you just have to understand if sometimes it might be worth doing it and just wasting your time and failing, just to go back and realize, oh, I don't even need to do this step. For example, I created a content creation workflow, and I had a background image with a video playing, and I had a node go into 11 labs to make. I didn't need to do all that. I could just get those files, pre-arrange them, or pre-get them, arrange them in a certain on my local disk, and just tell the anything like, hey, instead of going to Kling AI or to Midjourney or wherever to generate an image, I have these images that I like, that I have taken my time to curate. Pick this, pick that. you can define it. I can't really tell you what to do. You're supposed to just look at your process and know, okay, this makes sense to be automated. You don't want to go in automating everything. Believe me. You're just going to stress your system out. So how do you package this prototype like an external app or widget downloaded into your phone? I can say with a website, you just have to use a webhook for that as maybe your trigger. For example, you could create an app. Shout out to Figma. I think you can now create a live app on Figma or live website and publish it. But you can have a button that does a particular function or command. So whenever you click that button on your website, it just hits N8N and and fires your workflow, okay, and returns a result. I hope that answered your question. As far as the technical aspects of building an app, you want to talk to ChatGPT about that. There are other tools like Lovable and that have made building apps so easy. So you can figure, is there an option in the end which is like check and approve manually? Yes, there's an option to check and approve manually. And let me go back. Let me share my screen again. Here, window. Let's look for my end window. Okay. So there's an option to check and approve manually, and that is called human in the loop. So human, where is it? Human in the loop. Let me see. Give me a second. Let's see if I added it from here. Okay, here you go. So let's say I had an output come out. Okay, right now I don't have anything connected to this output. All right. I don't know. Let's see, what scenario could we think about here? Whatever. We could say, okay, after drafting this email and sending it, I don't know, take their names and put in a Google sheet, but I'm overthinking it. We could have a next step here, okay? And that next step, we could have human in the loop.
I guess you're not
Hit
sharing
that.
your screen.
I'm not?
You're
You can
not.
see my screen. Oh, what am I sharing? I'm sharing something. I was sharing something. Let me see.
I saw sharing.
Yeah, I was able to
Screen.
see his screen.
I was seeing
Oh,
something.
I was.
Yeah.
I was just talking to myself. I was like, "Can you see my
Yeah, I can.
screen?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. Okay, my bad. So, like I was saying, this could be a workflow. Um, Imagine this was the first step in a workflow. So this is not just an agent again. And we want the next step to be, I don't know, approve. Actually, let me delete all these nodes. Delete this, no, not that. Let's delete these. Okay?
Izzy, while it's connected, I just had a question.
Sure.
Yeah, in your sent email, I noticed that the sender's email is N8 workshop. How do you change it to yours?
Okay, so I'm sorry about that. So just for this workshop, I created a new email. Wait, is this what you're talking about? This?
Yep.
Or
No, the
the
sender's email.
sender's email? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, n8nworkshop@gmail.com. I just created that email.
Oh, you
So it's
created
not.
it. Okay. I thought it was
Yeah.
automatic. Okay. So
No,
it's
no,
sent
no,
from
no, no.
your. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, so this is a Gmail account I created just for this.
Perfect.
Maybe I should have named it like John Doe. I'm sorry about that. All right. But yeah, we're talking about human in the loop. Like if you want to see what the AI has done before, I mean, even just drafting is a form of human in the loop, but there's a more sophisticated way where you can click this button. Let's say the agent does whatever you want it to do using this tool, and it gives you a certain output. Now that output can be sent to, come here, human in the loop, to wait for approval from a human being. And you can connect whatever to it. It can be a Gmail, it can be Discord, it can be Telegram. And I like to use Telegram. just create your credentials. This too is a new workflow, so I don't have a Telegram credential here. Like I said, I use this locally. But yeah, you can just create Telegram. And what this does is it sends you define the output, okay? You say, hey, let's say draft the message. Let's say this AI agent only drafted the message. You say after drafting the message, output to the next node, Telegram. So it sends a message to Telegram saying, hey, look at the message that has been drafted. Then you can give it options like maybe Y for yes and send, N for no. And if you click N, you can define another step that says, okay, let's edit the message. Or you could just program it again into the agent and say, look, if I disagree, understand that and understand what I want changed in the message, and just type it on Telegram and it goes out. But human in the loop can be put wherever you need a human being to look at the work, approve. This is so important. That's a good question. Let's see. Do we have more questions? See, says you have to go. All right. Thanks for coming. Thanks. You're welcome, guys. So yeah, and that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes, this was a great session. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You are all welcome.
Thank you.
Pat, are you there? New messages. No worries, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I think you guys should just dive into it. Like, again, it's super easy to learn. Just give yourself a few hours, sit down, go over it, make mistakes, debug, and it's gonna click. You're welcome, guys. All right, have a great weekend. Bye. You're welcome.